You may think downsizing guarantees a huge cash windfall, but the shocking truth is that hidden costs and taxes can secretly wipe out your savings. It's this moment so many of us dream about in retirement, right? Selling the family home, unlocking all that equity. It just seems so simple. But what if I told you that for a lot of people, that dream can actually turn into a financial nightmare? It's true. There's a minefield of hidden costs and unexpected taxes that can just gobble up a huge chunk of your savings. You know, falling into this trap is one of the biggest, most common mistakes people make when they're planning for this next chapter of their lives. The idea of a smaller home and a bigger bank account is so appealing, but if you don't have the right strategy, it can all unravel pretty fast. So that's exactly why we're here. In this explainer, we are going to walk you through a clear, dual strategy system. It's designed to protect not just your money, but also your peace of mind through what can be a really challenging, but in the end, a very rewarding process. All right, let's dive in. We've got a 6-part journey for you. First, we'll talk about something called the downsizing paradox. Then, we'll get into the new reality of retirement today. From there, we'll figure out what your real financial goal should be, and I'll show you a dual strategy system to get there. Then we'll see how all this secures your independence, and finally, we'll wrap up with one simple strategic step you can take right away. Think of this as your roadmap to a successful move. So, part 1, the downsizing paradox. I mean, on the surface, the math seems so easy. You sell a big house you've had for years, you buy something smaller, cheaper. And that difference, that should go right into your savings account, shouldn't it? Well, that's the dream. The reality, though, is way more complicated. And this gap between what you think you'll make and what you actually walk away with, that is the paradox that catches so many good people completely off guard. So you have to ask, right? Why does this keep happening? If downsizing is so common, why are these financial traps so easy to fall into? Well, the simple answer is that the entire landscape of retirement has changed. We're facing a whole new set of challenges that our parents' generation just didn't have to worry about. And that brings us right to part 2, the new retirement reality. Look, the fantastic news is that we're living longer, healthier lives than ever before. But that great news comes with a new financial challenge. It's called longevity risk, which is really just a fancy way of saying the risk of outliving your money. A retirement that might last 30 years or even longer means that every single dollar you have has to work incredibly hard for you. And this really gets to the heart of it. For most of us, our home equity isn't just part of our savings, it is our savings. It's our single biggest asset. So the goal has to be to get the most cash out of it as possible. But here's the problem. You've got pressure from two sides. On one hand, you have all the financial stuff, the high transaction fees, commissions, taxes, all chipping away at your profit. And on the other hand, you've got the emotional side. Leaving a home filled with memories and sorting through a lifetime of stuff is just plain draining. And when you're drained, it's easy to make rushed, expensive mistakes just to get it over with.
This really says it all, doesn't it? On the left, there's the dream. We get fixated on that big, exciting sales price. We see a straight line from that number to a fat bank account. But the reality over on the right is a much messier, winding road. The only number that truly matters is the cash you have left in your hand after every single cost is paid. And getting there requires a real strategy.
So where does all the money go? Let's break down these profit eaters. First up, you've got your transactional fees, commissions, closing costs, lawyer fees. Then, taxes. You might be on the hook for capital gains. Next, there's all the moving and liquidation costs, movers, storage units, selling off furniture. And finally, getting the home ready to sell, staging, repairs, a fresh coat of paint. Let's just put some real numbers on this. Say your home sells for $800,000. Great, but a 5% commission is $40,000 right off the top. Closing costs, maybe another 10 grand. You spent $15,000 on repairs to get that sale price. And moving costs, another $5,000. All of a sudden, your $800,000 sale has $70,000 in costs, and we haven't even talked about taxes yet. See how fast that big number shrinks?
And this leads us to what I think is the single most important lesson in this entire explainer. Part 3, your true financial goal. To win at this, you have to make a huge mental shift. You have to stop asking, what's my house gonna sell for? And start asking, how much cash will I have free and clear when this is all said and done? Honestly, that is the only question that matters. So from this point on, we are going to focus on one number, and one number only, your net cash reserve. This is your true profit. It's the actual real amount of money you can put into your bank account after every single cost has been taken out. This number, and only this number, is a true measure of a successful downsize. This is the money that's going to fund your retirement.
Just let that sink in for a second. This is the core idea. From now on, every decision you make, the agent you hire, what you do with your old furniture, everything should be focused on maximizing one thing: your net cash reserve. Focusing on the big sale price is chasing a fantasy. The net cash reserve, that's reality.
Okay, so how do you protect that number? The absolute best way is to build a firewall in your mind. On one side, you have the emotional job of saying goodbye to a home and its memories. On the other side, you have the financial job of getting the most value out of it. When you try to do both at the same time, trust me, emotions get in the way of smart money decisions. But if you treat them like two separate projects, you can give each one the attention it deserves. All right, let's get practical. Part 4, the dual strategy system. We've talked about the what and the why. Now let's talk about the how. This comes down to two structured, non-negotiable processes that take care of both sides of that firewall, the money side and the emotional side. Strategy number 1 is the financial pre-audit, and I mean it when I say this is non-negotiable. You need to do this before you even think about calling a real estate agent. Seriously, just sit down with a piece of paper or a spreadsheet and list out every possible cost you can think of: commissions, closing fees, taxes, moving, all of it, and overestimate. It's way better to be pleasantly surprised later. Then subtract that total cost from what you think your home might sell for. The number you're left with, that is your realistic net cash goal. That number becomes your North Star, guiding every single decision you make from here on. Now for strategy 2, which tackles the emotional side, the 3-basket method. Let's be real. Clearing out a house with decades of stuff is overwhelming. It can totally paralyze you. This method just gives you a simple, structured way to do it. Every single thing you own gets sorted into one of 3 baskets. Basket 1 is for legacy items, the things you love, the things you're taking with you or passing down to family. Basket 2 is liquidation, things that have some real value that you can sell. And basket 3 is for donation, everything else that can be given away or discarded. It's a simple system that brings a sense of calm and order to a chaotic task. And whatever you do, please don't try to do this all in one weekend. You combine that 3-basket method with a staged timeline. Give yourself months, not days. Start in the low emotion areas first, the attic, the garage. Get some easy wins, build some momentum. Then, once you've built up that sorting muscle, you can tackle the more sentimental rooms. This slow and steady approach keeps you from getting burned out and helps you make clear decisions, which protects both your memories and your sanity. All right, let's move into part 5 and talk about how all this hard work pays off with a much bigger goal: securing your independence. Because all of this, the spreadsheets, the sorting, it's not just about a real estate deal. It's about taking deliberate, powerful control over your future. This is so much more than just packing boxes. It's a huge life transition, and when you approach it with a clear head and a clear strategy, you transform it. It stops being a stressful thing that's happening to you, and it becomes a powerful, positive step that you are directing for your own good. You're shifting from defense to offense. By doing that financial pre-audit and by using the 3-basket method, you're doing more than just planning a move. You are performing a powerful act of self-reliance. You're building a financial shield around your future, your independence, and your ability to live the retirement you've always wanted, on your terms. And the long-term benefits here are just huge. You're not just cutting down your own stress, you're doing it for your whole family. You are maximizing the financial fuel you'll need for a great retirement. Money for travel, for hobbies, for your health. And what does that independence really feel like? It's being able to take a trip without sweating every penny. It's knowing you can handle an unexpected medical bill without panicking. It's the peace of mind that comes from knowing you won't be a financial burden. Most of all, you're making sure this huge move is a strategic choice from a position of strength, not a desperate reaction. It's all about paving the way for a long, independent, and truly secure life. So that brings us to our final part, your first strategic step. We've gone over a lot, but knowledge is only useful when you actually do something with it. So I want to leave you with a really simple challenge to get you started on this path with clarity and control. But first, let's say it one last time, because this is the foundation for everything. Your financial success depends on calculating the net cash reserve, not the gross sales price. If you only remember one thing from our time together, please let it be that. Okay, here is your challenge for this week. It's a simple 2-part plan. First, the financial task. You don't even need a spreadsheet. Just get a piece of paper and write down 2 numbers. A rough estimate for the real estate commission and a guess for closing costs. That's it. Just seeing the numbers makes it real. Second, the emotional task. Don't think about the entire house. Just pick one small space, a single closet, maybe one bookshelf, and just try the 3-basket method. This simple little plan gets you started on both fronts, building financial clarity and emotional control one small step at a time. So, in the end, just remember that the real goal of downsizing isn't just to get a smaller house, it's to maximize that cash reserve that's going to fund the next amazing chapter of your life. And the best way to get there is by using that dual strategy we talked about, the financial pre-audit to master the costs, and the 3-basket method to manage your possessions with grace. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with this one thought. By planning this move strategically, with intention, you're not just organizing your stuff. You are securing the cash and the peace of mind you need for true financial freedom. You're taking control, and in doing that, you're giving yourself the greatest gift there is, a future filled with calm confidence and hope.